Hello once again and welcome to ActionTracks, where we're coming to you from the Indiana State Fairgrounds, the granddaddy of all of the Jamboree events, and this weekend a champion will be crowned. It's a tight race and it's coming up next on ActionTracks. This weekend in Indianapolis is the culmination of the Monster Truck Thunder Drag Series. This weekend we crown a Monster Truck Racing Champion. It comes down to two storied teams, Bigfoot versus Raminator, two of the biggest teams in the industry. But right now, let's meet the field of trucks. First up, it's Air Dog, driven by Michelle Simpson. Then we've got Joe Nichter in the Stomper. Heavy hitter, Derick Anson. Black Knight, driven by Hillbilly. The Star Marshal with Dave Ramirez. Chalkboard Chuck, driven by Bobby Holman. And doing double duty is Bobby Holman in the Stabilizer. Rich Hilgendorf will be driving the Avenger. Chris Bergeron will be in the General Tire Monster Truck. Matt Dishman in the Rammunition. Mark Hall in the Raminator. And our points leader, Dan Runte in Bigfoot. We're moving into Saturday afternoon racing action. This will be the first of two racing events that will feature this championship weekend. Taking a look at the bracket, we've got Raminator versus the Stabilizer, General Tire versus the Star Marshal. Raminator really needs that first round win to keep up with Bigfoot. Speaking of Bigfoot, he'll be facing off against Heavy Hitter. And then we've got Rammunition taking on the Black Knight. Should be some excellent racing, a lot of points implications in this round of racing. Before we get into racing action, let's take a look at the track. This weekend in Indy, the Monster Trucks will face a challenging S-track. The trucks will start over my right shoulder, where they'll power off the starting line over a roller and into turn number 1. Then into the most critical section of the track, a tabletop followed by 4 whoops in a rhythm section. Time will be made and lost right here. Then the trucks will proceed down into turn number 2, where they'll throttle out down the final straightaway to the final obstacle where the finish line awaits. There's a lot of space in this big track, but look for the rhythm section to make and lose races today. Our first pair of trucks is already on the line. It's the Lucas Oil Stabilizer versus second place in points, Mark Hall in the Raminator. The Raminator is 2 rounds of racing behind Bigfoot. He needs this win. He needs to make up some ground this weekend if he wants another Monster Truck Thunder Drags Championship. And right now, looking a little rough through the rhythm section, but he seems to be holding Holman on his hip. Raminator powers to the victory in the first round of racing. Bigfoot will have to match suit to keep up. Second pairing on the line, it's Star Marshal. He should be facing the General Tire Monster Truck, but we've gotten word that Bergeron in the General Tire shelled a transmission on the way to the starting line, so it'll be an easy ride for the Star Marshal. New concept truck this year out of the Bobby Holman camp. He's a good guy with a bad attitude. Dave Ramirez is the Star Marshal, and he's going to take the win and move on into round number 2. Third pair coming to the line. It's the points leader, Dan Runte and Bigfoot, taking on the newcomer, heavy hitter, Derick Anson. Anson's only in his second year, and he's been making a name for himself. Right now, Anson holding Bigfoot on his hip. Bigfoot's going to really have to make up ground in this final turn. Anson's a little wide. Runte steps on that big Ford horsepower and powers to the victory. A good race, very respectable run for Anson in the heavy hitter. Our next pair of trucks is already on the line. Rammunition versus the Black Knight. Last night, the Black Knight in a freestyle-only competition took a nasty spill with a rookie driver behind the wheel. Old Hillbilly back behind the wheel this afternoon, but you see the truck body flopping around just a little bit. Body damage is about the only issue with the truck, but he's not going to win this one. Matt Dishman powering the Ram onto the semifinal round. Taking a look back at the rollover for Black Knight last night, during freestyle, Brian Wright, the brand new driver, comes out, hits the single car, and over she goes as the car shifted on it. Not a lot of damage to the truck though, just a little body damage, and they're back in competition today. We're getting ready for semifinal action. The pairings look like this. Mark Hall in the Raminator will take on Dave Radziras in the Star Marshal, and then Dan Runte in the Bigfoot will take on Rammunition. Rammunition could do his teammate Raminator a big favor by knocking off the big blue Ford in the semifinals. Raminator on the line against Star Marshal, and they're off the line. Hall's going to be tough to beat, always a great racer, really puts his emphasis there, and it really shows. But right now, looking a little awkward through the rhythm section. Looks like he's got the advantage coming through the short side of the track, and he's going to power on to the finals.
There's the tabletop into the rhythm section. I do not believe he did.
Lots of pressure on Dan Runte and Bigfoot. He's got to take out the Rammunition, the team truck to Raminator, to keep pace with the Hall brother, Mark Hall in the Raminator. You know, Dishman really wants to help his teammate out and help him gain as many points as possible. But you can count on these Dodge boys to throw it down if they're in the finals. It's tight coming out of the final turn. Dishman pours on that Ram power and powers on to the victory. A great race, and Dishman just nailed Bigfoot to the wall. Mark Hall is likely to make up ground today in Indianapolis. Taking a look at the bracket for the finals, it's Mark Hall in the Raminator taking on the Rammunition. Finals on the line, Raminator versus Rammunition. Team trucks, I don't expect any team orders here. I expect it to be no holds barred. These guys are going after it. Right now, Hall only one round of racing behind Bigfoot. If he wins this race, he's tied with Bigfoot going into the final two events. Dishman pouring it on yet again on that outside track and taking the victory. Right there, Dishman stealing points from his teammate, but doing it straight up racer style. The first win for Dishman in Indianapolis in his career. A great win over great competitors and knocking off his teammate Raminator in the final.
Ladies and gentlemen, when he comes out, make some noise. First time running the Jamboree Nationals.
Before we get into more action, we've got a special feature for you. It's Briggs.
Welcome everybody to the Mobile Dog Pound on Wheels. This is where I spend about 30-35 weekends a year running up and down the road with my lovely wife Brenda. There's Brenda. Say hi everybody. All right, I'm going to take you on a tour of the trailer first. I don't want to show you the inside of that thing yet. Let me show you where the real work happens. All right, in here we got our tools. Got a mess of tools to fix about whatever we tear up. Workbench, overhead bins. Got helmets and cleaning supplies for the old man, old Pops there. That's his cabinet. Right here we got the tire rack. We roll 2 front tires in, run this up to the ceiling, run the other 2 underneath. We double stack them, then the truck comes in the back. Then we got plenty of storage up top for our novelties and whatever other spare parts we may need. And then that's about it in the old trailer. Got some outside storage, stuff like that. Storage under the ramps. We got parts kind of hidden everywhere in this thing. But old Wildside laid this out pretty nice for us. So I guess we'll show you the Taj Mahal. This is an NRC coach. Not that I'm doing any sales for NRC. Love them guys. They did a great job on this thing. We got a grill hidden in here, you know, for when Brenda's busting out the big meals for old Dale, Pops, and myself. That comes out, folds out, comes up. So we do a little cooking outside. Next one here, we got some storage in there. We'll keep it at that. And then this here is a pull-out freezer. Freezer pulls out. Got some nice beverages in here. Oh, yep, nice beverages over here. Sodas, you know, okay. All right. Then we'll go inside. Let me get the door for you, Chris. Remember the shoe policy, right? There's a stickler on the shoes. So he's actually taking them off, ladies and gentlemen. As long as he doesn't pull the mic cord out. All right. Here's where the dogs hang. As you can see, they're lounging. They're hitting it pretty hard. Say hi, Maggie. Here, let me turn on some lights here. So the pups are roughing it. That's where Misty rides down the road. Got a little big screen here just to get in here and chill out. This thing is loaded. You want to see the Star Trek door to the front? That's the cab. That's how we slide up in there. That's where I spend my days. Driving up down the road. No, this thing's all loaded up. It's pretty darn cool. That's satellite TV. Don't have the PlayStation or nothing like that. Got all the goodies in here. Got a DVD player and stuff like that, so we can get in here and chill out a little. The couches, they fold out to beds here, you know. But like I said, the dogs are pretty well occupied. And if you go in back there, we go in there. The bathroom's right there. Shower, full-size shower. Yep. And then there's the bedroom. Thank you. This is how Doug and Brenda roll. Peace.
The monster trucks are getting ready for their second event of the day. We'll be right back with all that action on ActionTracks.